Hello, welcome everybody to the first real video of our channel. Today we're going to be talking about breakfast logic and the Big Cheese rules because a lot of our videos are going to be based off breakfast logic and Big Cheese rules, and if you're not a follower yet, hopefully we can change that, then you will not understand what we're talking about, and so we need to teach you guys the ways. If not, then we're not really doing our job. So yeah, Breakfast will mostly be running this episode because he knows everything about everything. He's one in command. So yeah, let's get this started. Breakfast will explain the breakfast logic.
Okay. Before we, talk about it, you have to have context. Context is this: celestial body is in your body, and to explain that is that when you're born, your mommy and daddy do some cool stuff. The celestial body's embedded into your belly button, and it extracts goo that goes all over your cheese. It connects to a possible celestial body. But only 95% of that can actually happen. So the way you get the 5% is by doing what you do best, which could be anything that you want. That unlocks your awakening ability, like from Persona 5, where actually that does not exist. So that's also a thing that you have to understand, is that celestial bodies exist only 95% of the time, 50% of it. So, another point that I wanted to make about before we talk about Big Cheese Logic, quick and easy step from Phil Swift, who told me, direct message me. I'm serious. Directly message me. Big Cheese is the greatest thing. So, when something like that tells you that, you know it's working. So this is a real deal. This is not a joke. This is totally not a joke.
This
is
is
no
big
fraud.
leagues.
There is no. We're getting monetized. We're making money off this video. People are sponsoring it. Selena Gomez told me that she wants to eat my cheesy waffles. Like seriously, if she would go to my house, I would cook her some cheesy waffles. This is literally serious. Okay, here's Becker's logic. Becker's logic is a simple term to explain the logic of big. Simple. There are three main steps to explain it. But the first thing you have to know is this: is inverse opposite. You're like, oh, what's inverse opposite? Well, here's what inverse opposite means. So, here's the thing. Here's a question. Why is the door always open? Well, here's Luis is going to answer that for you.
Well, the reason why it's always open, because you have two options to do with a door: open or close it. And to open it, you have to open it. To close it, you have to open it first. And what does Big Cheese do all the time? He opens doors. He doesn't shut them on you because he wants you to enter Big Cheese. And you have to let people always enter Big Cheese. So then the door to the After Vibe is always open if you want to agree to it. So that's why the door is always open no matter what you are doing.
Exactly. And now, so this is how you understand that. You're inversing it by saying first you got to opposite it. So what's opposite of opening? Closing the door. You have to inverse that because technically you can't open the door. You can't close the door without having it open first. So that means there is absolutely no way that you can't just say close the door. You have to have it open beforehand. So then you take that and you just combine it with the Big Cheese because you have to have context. Context is why. Why would someone want the door to always be open? There you go. Evidence. You explain it by saying what he found. He found it on Big Cheese. That's the evidence. Circumstance. An example of it. He said example. Like he wants us to go to the afterlife. That's the door to afterlife. That's the example. Think about it like that. Have to have all those three pillars before you can actually think that you're smart. Because you cannot be smarter than a fifth grader. You don't have Big Cheese logic. Or in Becker's logic. Because Big Cheese logic is a different topic. I'm sorry. Actually, excuse me. Excuse me about that. Sorry. You're thinking, oh, there's two logics? Shut up and listen to me. Here's the thing. There's two logics, but both of them are combined the same point. You know what I just did? Inverse the opposite on your logic. So their logic is horrible. So here's what I have to say. I just got to tell the top of boom, that's the inverse opposite, because I didn't say that to come out of nowhere, but I actually did do that. So there you go, Big Cheese logic. The next point in the Big Cheese logic is, of course, the important part about speaking. You cannot speak correctly without Big Cheese logic. I'm not speaking, see? Because you know why? Because you're not speaking. You're not speaking either. You have to speak. You're speaking. When you're speaking, you have to speak what you're speaking. You cannot just say like, oh, bro, look, the Los Angeles Lakers won the NBA champion. It's not speaking. That's saying something. It's speaking. It's speaking. Mommy is, of course, homophobic. That's speaking. So, Luis is going to give you a speaking tutorial on how to speak simply. Not the advanced, because might be a long video.
Okay. Okay, so basically how to speak is this. There are a few rules to speaking. Number one, only speak to women who are nice to you. Number two, speak as how Big Cheese would speak. Before you speak, be like, would Big Cheese say this? And if the answer is no, he would not say this, then like you're dumb. Get out of my face. Then you can't say it. Rule number three. Speaking has to have meaning. If you're just saying dumb stuff like your mom, like toxic, that's bannable, okay? You need to actually have meaning and stuff what you say. You could say your mom as well, but it depends on the context and the explanation of everything, which is what brings us back to it. So that's why it has to have to make sense to be spoken. If not, then you're just wasting your saliva for no reason. And the last rule is that when you speak to your grandma, just speak to her. Don't make videos for her like toxic. But okay, those are all the rules of speaking for the beginner. We might get into advanced in like another episode or something.
Okay, so at least explained it correctly, perfectly correct, because perfectly is not a word. Perfectly is the inverse opposite. So, what you take away from this is always speak with a clear mind and know what you're trying to say before you speak. It's not based worldly logic, but we're not talking about it. It's the Big Cheese logic. Slash Beckman's logic. Remember that. Backfist and Big Cheese are the same thing, but I may start you off by saying both, by inversing, by saying them two at a time. So there you go, because also two is better than one, so I can't just say one thing. Sense, like saying this. 2 goes 1 is not actually equal 1. 3 equals 3 equals 6. 5 equals 9. 9 equals 3. So there you go, that's why it's 2.
Quick math.
So, good match. Like seriously, think of Big Shaq. Big Shaq had it correct. He answered all the questions about Big Cheese. You can watch the Razor video. He answers a question, TT. He answers a great explanation. Nasty and stuff, like, that's actually a Pearson Big Cheese that existed at one point 100 years ago. You don't remember that because you're idiots. That's where you're watching this video. So, speaking of the rules, I didn't speak of the rules before. I'm speaking now. I'm speaking. Like, correct. I'm talking. So speak. It's about your mom. About like, oh, you're gonna make videos like grandma. Actually, that's actually, yeah, and you say that to talk, so you're gonna get an upvote, and then we'll talk about the rating system. Anyway, before we go, here are the rules. Rule 1. Rule 2 is do not play Rocket League without having a Rocket League. Rule 3 is, of course, no content that is suspicious. Don't put, like, pictures of, like... Dude, that's what I call it. Unless it's, like, Big Cheese related. Final rule is this. This rule is very important. If you lie...
It has to be a joke.
But it's no joke, you'll be banned. And then, of course, the second last rule is, of course, always look up the philosophy. That was a rule that existed among
Yeah.
philosophies already existed.
Yeah, look up Big Cheese philosophies that don't have to do with Big
Before we
Cheese.
go, this is the voice's final thing he has to say here. This is one of the greatest quotes in the history of Big Cheese. I will put it, here it is.
Breakfast, your mic cut out.
Before we kiss,
Uh-huh.
I want you to know that a Jeep is less aerodynamic than a lobster. And the another final quote is this. I found the holy. And also, another thing is, wait for it. There's a party in my tummy, so yummy, so nummy. Now there's a party in my tummy, so yummy, yummy. There's a party in my tummy. Vegetables crying, why are you so sad? We went to go to the party in your tummy. Carrots want to go to the party in my tummy. Yeah. Oh, well, would you green beans want to go to the party in my tummy? Yeah, okay, well, okay, let's go. Carrots, yeah, in my tummy, party, in my tummy. Green beans in my tummy, party in my tummy. There's party in my tummy, there's party in my tummy. And now there's party in my tummy, there's party in my tummy. And that's the end of the video. If you don't subscribe to like, you can be shot in the face by some random guy in the street.